Hey, everybody, it's Cam, and this is the Everyday Arborist Podcast, episode 5. Today is going to be a miniature episode. It's going to be fun, but we're talking about blue jays today. It might seem that it's a little bit of a surprise to be talking about birds, but hey, if you are a bird lover or just a tree guy who is amongst birds all the time and you love them as much as I do, maybe you can learn a couple things or just enjoy listening to this as you work. So, like I said, we're talking about blue jays today, and it's a beautiful bird. Kind of has mixed opinions from bird lovers and people who have feeders, but I don't think it's as appreciated or as well known their contribution to the urban forest as a whole in the eastern United States. And, I entitled it Airlifting the Oaks from an old article from 1986, written by Carter Johnson and Curtis Atkinson from South Dakota State. So you can find that and look that up. But essentially, Airlifting the Oaks is kind of a note to how blue jays are so prolific at spreading acorns, even far more than squirrels do. So there's a lot of research that's been done on that. I definitely recommend. There's a guy named Jay Wright. He's the director of conservation science, Metro Parks Toledo, Ohio, and he has a really good presentation that's available called Blue Jays and Oaks, a seed dispersal mutualism shaping eastern hardwood forests. And I think he has his PhD in his, that was one of his projects during that process. So that is definitely worth checking out. I think it's about a 45 to 1 hour long video that I watched that was really cool, talking about seed dispersal and the different things that blue jays preferred as far as their diet. So really awesome stuff. But yeah, we're talking airlifting the oaks today. Blue jays are really cool. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology calls them ecosystem engineers for how they contribute to the ecosystem throughout the eastern United States. Blue jays are common. They're found, at least here in Tennessee, in every county. The blue jay frequently mimics the calls of hawks, especially the red-shouldered hawk. I'm not sure if you've heard them, but you will definitely, once you have heard a blue jay, not miss them again. So they are loud and proud. The oldest known wild banded blue jay was at least 26 years and 11 months old. So that's pretty impressive for a bird. I like to call it the workhorse in the development of the oak forest, along with a lot of other wildlife that contribute to that. But I'm a huge lover of oaks, and I'm sure you have definitely heard that in the last couple episodes. But it's really cool learning what the blue jays do to contribute to oak forests. So jays are a part of the corvid family, like crows and ravens, and they store seeds in small caches across the landscape in a behavior called scatter hoarding. Birds cache more seeds than eventually they eat, so some seeds sprout, and scatter hoarding becomes seed dispersal, helping trees colonize new areas. And in the eastern U.S., blue jays speed forest fire recovery by increasing their caching efforts after fires and selecting canopy gaps as cache sites. And there is a guy from UC Berkeley's named Thomas Scott. He says that blue jays can move a forest worth of trees every autumn. It's pretty awesome. Another book that was referred to me from my friend Alex Mullock, who's been on the podcast before, by Dr. Doug Talany, an entomologist with the University of Delaware. Nature of Oaks was the book he wrote. So in case you want to go check that out. A single blue jay can bury 4,500 acorns during a mast year, a year in which oaks produce more acorns than normal. But Doug says blue jays only remember where they buried 1 in 4 of those acorns. That means they plant around 3,300 new trees in a mast year. And blue jays even prefer lots of different oaks to be present in the forest because there's going to be different mast years, a little bit of variation there. So Thomas Scott, again from UC Berkeley, cited that article, Airlifting the Oaks, that discovered 50 jays transported and cached 150,000 acorns in 28 days, about 110 acorns per day for each bird. I don't know if you've ever witnessed something of that scale before, but it's impressive for me, for sure. It says here that on each trip, blue jays fill their expandable throats, and they usually add one or more acorns by holding it in their beak. And researchers found that the jays can carry about 7 pin oak acorns per trip. They prefer pin oak, post oak, black oak acorns just because they are smaller, easier to travel with. And then once they arrive where they're going, they disgorge those seeds and they hide them under the soil or pushing them under vegetation one at a time. And it says here in this article that blue jays make choices about which trees are harvested and how many nuts are gathered. Then the bird makes choices about where and how the seeds are cached. The facts suggest that the blue jays play an important role in determining forest structure and quality, which they kind of earned that name, the ecosystem engineers, from what Cornell Ornithology called them, which is super cool that they can help determine and really build that forest structure and quality. And the Airlifting of the Oaks authors Carter and Curtis also discovered acorns stashed by blue jays had a higher germination because of the depths that they had planted them at. So that is really cool. And, I just thought it'd be fun to do a miniature episode like this, whether you're in the car or just up in a tree, just to learn some fun facts and hear how they contribute to, for us as urban arborists, they contribute to our forest, but all throughout the larger forests that are present in the eastern United States, they definitely have a part that they play in building that ecosystem. So I thought a couple honorable mentions bird-wise at the end would be the Florida scrub jay. Not sure if you have heard of that bird, but it is only present in Florida. It's in the jay family and also a big consumer of acorns. We've got the acorn woodpecker way out west, the red-bellied woodpecker, an eastern towhee, and there's a couple other birds that have the acorn included in their diet. Acorns and oak trees are a huge benefit to our wildlife and our native forests. So I definitely love and want to highlight anything that helps contribute to it. Yeah, just wanted to shout out here as well at the end. Airlifting the Oaks is a great article. Audubon Society, the National Wildlife Federation, the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, all about birds. And once again, go check out Jay Wright, the Director of Conservation Science, Metro Parks Toledo. And I hope you guys enjoyed this mini episode. Maybe you learned a couple things about the blue jay. We will see you next week for another full-length podcast. And you guys have a great week. See ya.